Hello children, welcome to our world through English. So today we are going to continue the topics what we had been started in the previous classes, that is verbs we started. In that we got the word phrase. So I explained about phrases, what are the phrase, noun phrase, adjective phrase, adverbial phrase and verb phrase we discussed. And later we got the clauses. What is a clause? Very simple definition, children, I am going to give you, that is what is a phrase without a subject and a verb. What is a phrase without a subject and a verb? And what is a clause? Very simple, it is having a subject at the same time a verb. So when we discuss about the clause, I said about two things. One is main clause, another is subordinate clause. What is that? Main clause. And next one is subordinate clause. So I said this. What is main clause and what is subordinate clause? For example, see. I said I like mango. So here we are having a subject and a verb. Here is a verb and here is a subject. So a clause will have a subject and a verb. So what is a subordinate clause means? The subordinate clause, see another example. See here. I read the book. I subject and verb. So it is giving the meaning. So it is first sentence, it is second sentence. So I read the book which was given by my friend. So when you read the first sentence, you are getting the meaning. So close it and read only first one. I read the book. Okay, you got the meaning. So just close the first sentence and second sentence, which was given by my friend. So what was given by my friend? We are having a verb and everything we are having here. But did you get any meaning here? No. So this is called subordinate clause. The subordinate clause always depend upon the main clause to give its meaning. Without this, you can't understand the meaning. But the main clause will give the exact meaning. I read the book means, yeah, you get the book. But when you look at the second sentence, it is depending upon the first sentence, that is called subordinate clause. Okay. Now let me write another example. So that is main clause and subordinate clause. So we have many verb forms, especially to talk about the subordinate clause. Those words I will give you in the table form, then you can understand clearly. Okay. Now see. See here, the novel was good. The novel was good. So subject and a verb. So the novel was good, where I learned about fiction. So when you look at the first sentence, the novel was good. Subject, a verb. Okay. Second one, where I learned, subject and a verb about the fiction. So close it and read. The novel was good. Okay, it is giving the meaning. When you look at second one here, where I learned about fiction. Where I learned fiction. Where? Again we are having a question here. So it is not giving the exact meaning what it was going to show. Where I learned about things, where I learned. Is it giving a full meaning of the sentence? No. It is having something left that was here. So this is called main clause and this is called subordinate clause. So this is always depends upon the main clause. So the novel was good where I learnt about fiction. So this is subordinate clause. So now I'm going to give you some words in the table form, especially which is called clause, subordinate clause, which shows exactly the subordinate clauses. So now we are going to discuss some important verbs which commonly will call as a subordinate clause. So that verbs we are going to discuss. So now you got clear, right? What is main verb, what is subordinate clause. So simple definition, a phrase, just remember you don't need to worry about all these phrase, noun phrase or a verb phrase. Very simple for you. Without a verb and subject. And what is a clause means? With a verb and a subject. This is only the difference, phrase and a clause. So that will be the end of this topic, phrase and clauses. So we discuss all the phrases, noun phrase, adverb clause, adverbial phrase. That is secondary, don't worry about that. So just remember all in the topic, the words, that is okay. Some subordinate clauses I'm going to give you here. Just keep in your mind, okay. So yesterday I given you the meaning of main clause, and subordinate clause means, just write down the subordinate clause. It always depends upon the main clause, okay. Now the words after, we will get this type of words when we are talking about subordinate clause. Although, rather than, after, although, next rather than, so every word, if you get this type of word in your sentence, definitely it will be a subordinate clause. Since, so that, than, that. Just I told you to keep a book to write all those things, then you can make everything clearly. Where, once, when. Next, some question forms like whereas, wherever, and whether. Whereas, and wherever, and whether. Some question words. So next one we discuss now which, and unless, until, as, unless, until, as, and the word which we discuss now, which and because. So if every commonly the word will join with this, before, even if, even though, before, even though, next even if also written, no, even if. So these are all words we'll talk about this coordinate subordinate conjunctions, okay. Even though, if, why. So these are all the words for subordinate conjunction. Okay, it contains subject and a verb, but it needs to be attached with a main clause because it cannot make it its sentence of its own. So this is subordinate clause. Okay, yesterday maybe I give an example, right? These are the words for subordinate clause. If I not given definition, just copy the definition of subordinate clause. Maybe I thought that I had given. If not, just copy that. It will have what is subordinate clause. Subordinate clause. It will have. It contains a subject and a verb. Subordinate clause. Subordinate clause. It contains a subject and a verb. It contains a subject and verb, but it cannot stand, but it needs to be attached to a main verb. But it needs to be attached to a main verb because it cannot stand its by own. So that is subordinate clause.